Today, I want to get into Jung Kook on CCTV and what happened there. I want to get into Jung Kook, who is believed to be crying over an alleged blonde girlfriend, and then we have V confirming the truth about the military enlistment. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey Spling Mug merch, and let's go. We need to talk about the new news of J-Hope enlisting and all the tea that is going on with that. J-Hope recently got his haircut. I touched upon it briefly, but I did not really focus on it and get into the official news, so here we are. Recently, Jung Kook, J-Hope, and V went on a live stream together. They surprised us as we have been seeing Jung Kook go live almost weekly lately, and now we are seeing all three of them. By the way, don't get too used to Jung Kook going live weekly. It probably won't happen too much when Jung Kook starts going to the military, and even before then starting his solo stuff. But it's definitely fun now. But anyway, back to the stream. V popped in first to say hi, and then we saw J-Hope with his haircut. Freaked out as I think it was the first time we saw it, and then later he posted a selfie of it. I can't tell which came first, but either way they both dropped quickly, so media and fans didn't quite get the chance to take that in before Jung Kook was on his live stream later playing his Calvin Klein underwear. And then that stole the headlines. J-Hope had a bit of a shorter cut than we had ever seen him before, and this was to prepare for the military. The goal of the military haircut is to just look uniform, so there's probably like up to a certain number of cuts that every soldier is allowed to get. It's probably like a small number of like a few styles or something like that. The main premise is that it needs to be buzzed and short, so they likely just tell their stylist that and they go with it. J-Hope's cut looks quite different from Jin's, which was interesting, and then V even said on the stream that it is confirmed that Hobie will indeed be going. This was confirmation that all the members have mentally already prepared and all that. This of course made armies think that he is going to go tomorrow or something, but Jung Kook actually went online to reassure everyone of what was actually happening and all that. After the rumors started circulating on Weverse, J-Hope actually caught wind of it and decided to go and comment on everything. He mentioned that he is not leaving tomorrow and that he will eventually come and greet everyone with a live stream soon. He asked armies to not have a hard time with everything and of course not to worry too much. He posted this on Wever's story and gave us the finger hearts. He of course took the opportunity to also promote his merch line and a new item that we have not seen before. These are his Mang BT21 merch line slippers. I thought this was such a smart move on his behalf. Since there's going to be tons of news coverage over his response and over his enlistment, he might as well be photographed in the merch and get his new slippers hyped up. The BT21 characters also have their own show, which makes the merch that much more fun to watch. I plan on watching and reacting to the animations over on Patreon even more, so if you want to join me there and check out some of those episodes, I will link the Patreon in the description. We currently have a $1 tier with limited spots. Hope to see you there. He might as well be making some money while he is in the military, as he won't be able to promote or do much. However, it's really good that the boys may have some pre-recorded content that they can just hand over to their social media manager and PR team to really be posting and promoting stuff while he is away. I think they've done this job long enough where they could almost predict what could happen and have content ready for that scenario. What differentiates a celebrity from the everyday person trying to do the same thing is not just the team, but it's the team's ability to have done it before at such a scale to know what to capitalize on and what to do next. We have seen so many one-hit wonders in the industry, and the reason they became that was their inability to build something more off of their one hit. And BTS has some of the best teams because they've done it over and over again. I don't think their relevance would fade, and if it did, it wouldn't fade that much. Also, aside from them doing anything like that, the media and many other sites will likely be using the footage and song for their news coverage, which would keep people top of mind. For example, there's a Chinese channel called CCTV. They're a news company, and it actually has nothing to do with what we think CCTV means. So it doesn't mean security footage, but stands for China Central Television. And there was a specific interview that the journalist did with President Xi Jinping, and in the background of that footage, you could hear Euphoria by Jung Kook playing. The song Euphoria definitely makes you feel euphoric. It's a song that builds, it has a very cinematic vibe, and the song felt very Western to me. When I learned that the song was made by a popular Western producer, I was not surprised. So this makes the song great to go in the background of anything and makes the segment feel more full and feel more amazing. Now, if you don't know much about Xi Jinping, there's of course a lot of controversy with him and what he's done with China. I won't be getting into that, but he does not regularly do interviews. He doesn't make much media appearances except for paparazzi and these sorts of things. Of course, he interviews or would be okay with being recorded alongside other presidents when he's doing press and things like that, but he does not regularly appear on TV to talk like what Obama or whatever would do. So the fact that he was interviewed, or at least a big TV network was doing a presidential honor segment, is very good. The segment itself is very historic, let alone that they chose to use Euphoria as the background song. So for Jungkook to be a part of a segment like this, and a segment that will likely go down in history when they mention some of the things Xi Jinping has done, and schools may use news to reference him, they may pull up this clip. I think this is beautiful and something that, of course, one could only hope for their music to be used in such a way. Moments and unexpected moments like this are what makes an artist really pop and differentiates them from others. Not only does music have to sound good and be popular, but the group has to represent something. They have to be a political powerhouse as well, and what better for Asian representation than for them to all come together in a moment like this and create something wonderful on the CCTV network. There's been some weird conversation over Jungkook and what else he has been up to actually, and none of those things have anything to do with the military, as he still has a bit of time before he plans on going. There was even a rumor a little while ago where Jungkook was told that he would likely enlist after Suga releases his solo stuff, and Suga just released his stuff and is likely planning on doing more promotion for it. Once that wraps up, Jungkook will go, and he has already started planning things. He was recorded flying over to the US, and he posted some pictures of his meeting with some producers. This was a huge deal as we got to see him work with some Western producers, and it seemed like he was working with Scooter Braun as well. Scooter is not a producer, I don't think, but he is a manager with a lot of connections, meaning Jungkook is likely looking to push his songs to a Western audience. His new songs might be all in English or at least have a Western vibe, we shall see. Jungkook was spotted at the airport recently before he got to the US, and he was heavily photographed with his Calvin Klein clothes and waving to everyone that showed up. People began making a lot of speculation as Jungkook was spotted with a necklace. Now, I need to give some really intensely weird backstory here, but please just try to follow along to understand the context and understand that some things are just that way, and people don't often use logic when thinking. This is the hardest part when I have to explain K-pop drama to people. They try to make sense of it, and the action actually just don't make sense. The drama often feels like you're gaslighting yourself. So what happened? Back a while ago when Jungkook was in Dubai, he was believed to have been dating a blonde girl while he was over there. To this day, we still do not have any photo of this blonde girl or have any public social media handle. People were saying that this blonde girl looks like a Barbie doll, and then debates about how Jungkook wouldn't be dating her because Barbie is not his type. But then all of the photos of this girl that are shown are blurry photos of a blonde girl in places that Jungkook did not seemingly visit. And it's just a random girl. The narrative was printed out of this, that this blonde girl owned a jewelry store and gave Jungkook a necklace, and he has been wearing it a lot. And so the logic here is that Jungkook is dating her because of that. There's literally no footage of them together, who this girl is and what she looks like. Every photo of this blonde girl is like her with her phone in front of her face. That could literally be anyone. I don't know how this rumor got so big, but people just believe that. And then during the recent flight that we see of Jungkook going to the US for his solo stuff, we see that Jungkook is allegedly wearing that necklace again. This sparks up rumors that he is still dating her, and this is so delusional. You mean that necklace that he's wearing that was never confirmed to be this alleged blonde girl that he allegedly dating, who we don't even know if he's dating or who she is. Also, this is literally forgetting that even if she was a blonde girl who owned a jewelry store dating Jungkook, and that this alleged girl couldn't have just given Jungkook a necklace and he just liked it so he's wearing it. Also, where's the proof that she gave him this necklace? Because there's alleged photos of a mystery blonde girl who wears the same necklace. And then on top of all that, Jungkook has been getting hate and saying that he's changed and that he's not a good person anymore because he's allegedly dating a Barbie due to a rumor that makes no sense. It feels like a fan had a fever dream that Jungkook cheated on them even though they weren't dating, and just was angry, and so they spread this rumor, and somehow thousands of people just believe it. People were then saying that you could see Jung Kook crying because he was wearing the necklace and then was being exposed. And then there's paparazzi photos of allegedly Jung Kook teary-eyed, even though eyes are usually a bit wet, and when you have flashes you're going to see the moisture and it could look like tears. Also, he could be tired, so many reasons. People think that he was going to go meet her and kiss her, but that's all weird and nonsense. And if you're new here, all rumors are as nonsensical as this, so make sure to follow along and hear me rant about it. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.